Next step, you're going to be left with a short end, and if it's a little bit too long you can cut it, and you're going to tie the short end over the long end, and that's it. Short end is out of the picture. Now you're only going to work with the long end that is connected to your skein. I'm going to pull out one needle, and I'm going to take that empty needle in my right hand. Pay attention how I'm holding the needle on all my fingers, on my palm essentially, and then the fingers that are controlling the needle is my thumb and my index. So lightly, but very much in place. Right hand is controlling the left hand, controlling the other needle. Pay attention to how I position the yarn. So your yarn now goes over your index finger, and again over your fingers, and you're going to grab it lightly with all the fingers, and then my thumb of my left hand is going to cover all the stitches on the left needle except for the one that I'm going to work with. Right needle goes into the stitch, right into the stitch, and then the index finger of my right hand pushes the left needle down all the way until that first stitch is being transferred. So right now we only transferred one stitch. Second stitch, left needle into the stitch. You can pull it open. You can see how my right hand is pulling it open. And now my yarn is still here over the index. I am going to grab the yarn, put it through the stitch, and now with my index, push the needle down. Notice how my thumb is constantly covering all the stitches. This way I'm not losing them. So I just made a new stitch. Next one, release the next one, yarn in the same position. Right needle goes into the stitch. And notice that my right needle is under or behind the left one. Open the stitch, yarn, find your yarn, grab it with the right needle, and bring it right through the stitch. Right through the stitch. And push with the index. Next one, needle into the stitch, pull the stitch open with your right hand. Now you can see in the yarn, you can see it through the stitch. Pick up the yarn, push with the index. Let me just finish this row quickly right in front of you, just so that I can show you what to do in the end. So you can see it's the same movement over and over again. And after the last one, done. My whole row, and this is my first row. Very neatly done with the short end dangling. Now I'm going to switch hands. I'm going to put the needle with the stitches in my left hand and the empty needle in my right hand, yarn over the index, and you're just going to repeat all the movements. First stitch, just transfer. Second one, needle into the stitch, pull it open, don't make it too tight. Yarn is over the index always, grab it. Next one, yarn in, push, yarn in, yarn in, Let me do it a little bit slower one more time. In, push. 1, 2, push. 1, 2, push. Cut.